The Storm and the Sisters. Chapter 1. A Bond Forged in Quiet. In a land of golden hills and whispering winds, two sisters were born beneath a twilight sky. Odessa, the elder, was brave and fiercely protective. They were born into a quiet village where the world felt small, but dreams bloomed large. From the moment they could walk, they were side by side, chasing birds through fields, reading stories under the stars, and making promises to always stay together. "One day," Adina whispered, "we'll make things better. Not just here, but for everyone," Odessa smiled. "Then we'll have to become something more than just sisters. We'll have to become leaders." Chapter 2. The Storm Rises. Their world changed when the kingdom fell into shadow. A great storm, both real and symbolic, swept through the land. Crops withered, villages were divided, and cruel men rose to power. The people were silenced by fear. And then the storm came for them. One night, soldiers raided their village. Fires lit up the sky like dying stars. Odessa and Adina fled into the mountains with only each other, hearts pounding, tears mixing with rain. They were no longer girls, they were survivors. They wandered for days through rain-soaked valleys and wind-chilled peaks, hungry, cold, but never apart. There were nights when Odessa wanted to give up, when her legs trembled from exhaustion. Adina would place a hand on her shoulder and whisper, "One more step, sister." The storm tested their bodies, but it forged their spirits like iron and flame. Chapter 3. Becoming Fire. In exile, they found others like them, those who had lost homes, names, and hope. Odessa took up the sword, not for revenge, but to protect. She trained with quiet fury, defending the weak, shielding the broken. Adina became the voice of the forgotten. She taught children to read, healed wounds, spoke in gathering circles until crowds began to listen. They became symbols, the shield and the flame. And through every hardship, they held to one truth. "We don't rise by stepping over others," Adina said. "We rise by lifting each other," Odessa finished. Chapter 4. Return of the Daughters Years Past. The storm that once chased them became the fuel that pushed them forward. One by one, the people followed. Old rulers fell not by force, but by the rising power of unity and love. The sisters didn't fight for thrones, they fought for peace. They returned not as fugitives, but as legends. Odessa stood at the city gates in armor, etched with the names of those they had lost. Adina walked beside her in robes woven with symbols of peace. The people cheered. Not for queens, but for sisters who had once wept in the dark, and now brought light. Chapter 5. The Sky After the Storm. Under a calm sky, Odessa and Adina rebuilt the world, not as rulers above others, but as leaders among them. They created councils instead of courts, gardens instead of prisons, schools instead of castles. They spoke often of the storm, not with bitterness, but with gratitude, for it had shaped them, tested them, brought them closer, and in quiet moments, they would still sit beneath the stars like they once did as girls. "Do you think we did enough?" Adina would ask. Odessa would smile gently. "We did it together. That's always enough." Sestikern. Sisters of the Sky. Long after they were gone, children in the kingdom would grow up hearing the story of two sisters who walked through the storm, hand in hand. They learned that greatness doesn't come from power, but from love. That true leadership doesn't mean standing tallest, but walking beside those who need you most.